All right, joining me now to talk about Apple's fight against the government order to access what's on the shooter's phone is San Diego State University management lecturer and attorney at law, Dr. Wendy Patrick. So, if Apple refuses to create this software, what type of message is that sending to its customers right now?
Well, so far Apple is refusing to create this software, and the message it's sending is that Apple cares very deeply about customer privacy. They are basically saying that they're looking at digital security as something that's more important than complying with something that is necessary for national security. But remember, Tim Cook, Apple's CEO, didn't quite phrase it that way. He said we can do both, but how? Now, one of the things about this judge's ruling, and she's, by the way, a former federal prosecutor, she gave Apple 5 days to come back and explain why this ruling would create an unnecessary burden on Apple, which is clearly what they're planning to do. That's what Tim Cook has said very vocally. So what remains to be seen is what now? Do we wait and have this just further litigated, which is probably what's going to happen? Because Apple has made it very clear right now they aren't going to do anything.
All right, so the White House was very quick to come out and say, wait, this is just one phone. If Apple gives in, then what does that say to their customers?
Well, it may just be one phone, but what Tim Cook's argument is to allow them, or to actually force them to create a back door would mean you're not just putting a key under the mat for your neighbor to get into your house. You're creating a master key, goes the argument that Apple's putting out, that can get into all phones. And that would compromise, potentially, the data of all of its users. And Apple has vowed, hey, this is a safe product. We protect our consumers from cyber hackers. But by forcing us to hack one phone, we're creating software that could then be used to hack other phones.
This is interesting because this is Apple's fight right now. But I noticed you mentioned this. Google's kind of sitting back, the Android phone makers, all sitting back watching what happens, right?
The other tech companies, many people were saying, well, gosh, why don't they get into the fight and throw in their 2 cents? That hasn't been what they've done. They're hanging back, they're watching and waiting because the ruling's ultimately going to affect all of them.
Absolute game changer.
Game
Wendy
changer
Patrick,
for sure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for
Always
having
interesting.
me.